Today, I'm pulling back the curtain to show you my entire pipeline for turning long videos into all of my short-form content. We will cover the tiny habits that speed things up and why I ultimately settled on Vizard for handling the majority of this process. Consider this your comprehensive behind-the-scenes tour of the exact system I use. The entire loop looks something like this: upload, autoclip, tweak, organize, schedule, and finally, publish. I will walk you through every single step in detail so you can effortlessly copy this exact workflow for your own content. So the very first thing you need to do is get your long-form video completely ready for processing. I typically start with an hour-plus episode, podcast recording, or any piece of substantial content, and then I immediately drop that file into the editor. With the older tool I used previously, uploading these huge files used to take an absolute eternity, sometimes involving a 30-minute wait just to upload. Furthermore, the subsequent clip generation process back then was often a little hit or miss regarding quality. However, the upload speed with Vizard is noticeably quick, and the AI's automatic detection for highlights is far more reliable. It intelligently finds those genuine moments where the audience actually reacted, not just random energetic segments of speech. I will go into more detail about that superior highlighting in just a few seconds, so stick around for that insight. Once you hit that upload button, the artificial intelligence immediately begins scanning your video and spitting out potential short clips. If you upload a full 70-minute session, you can realistically expect to get a few dozen different short clips generated, probably around 30 in total. You absolutely do not have to use every single suggested clip, and honestly, I rarely utilize more than half of them. The real secret sauce is allowing the AI to handle the massive initial heavy lifting, and then you step in as the final curator. Your job is simply to choose the pieces that genuinely possess the power to stop somebody from endlessly scrolling their feed. Now, let's talk about a few important settings you must configure before processing begins. The first crucial step is selecting the dedicated Shorts output format, which sounds obvious but truly makes a difference. Ensure the software has a specific preset ready for that vertical 9:16 aspect ratio, and make sure you select it. If the system offers various clipping options, always choose the one that is driven primarily by the audio activity. I generally leave most of the pre-made aesthetic templates alone because they can often distract from the core message. For my personal brand, I prefer keeping the presentation intentionally simple so the clip's value stands entirely on its strong content. While the software is busy processing everything in the background, you are free to step away from the page entirely. The best tools will send you an email notification the very second all of your clips are completely finished processing. This feature is invaluable because large files still require significant time, allowing you to handle other tasks until the results arrive. When you finally return to a fully generated set of clips, you will be presented with a neat grid layout. Take the time to click on each clip individually and review its quality. This is a crucial learning phase. Pay attention to the small timestamp displayed near the top, as that immediately tells you the exact source location within the main video. For any short-form video, I strictly aim to keep the final runtime under 30 seconds because attention spans are truly brutal out there. Even if the original excerpt is absolutely amazing, you must aggressively trim it down to deliver only the core punchline or the single biggest insight. Moving into the actual editing phase within the platform, you might need to crop the framing slightly if the subject is poorly placed. I personally dislike when faces appear too zoomed in, so I often zoom out a small amount or reposition the main subject slightly. Excellent editing software will grant you the ability to adjust the crop, zoom, and focal box to perfectly capture the most engaging part of the shot. Never hesitate to use the crop tool aggressively, as a tighter, cleaner composition often prevents viewer distraction. After making your necessary adjustments, apply the change and save, knowing that the re-render time on Vizard is usually extremely short. Always make sure you download the highest quality HD versions of these clips for your personal archive. Keeping the HD exports is a smart move because it is incredibly handy for future reusing or long-term archiving purposes. Here is a professional tip. Implement a consistent file naming convention as soon as you start downloading them. I use a very simple template, short number topic, for example, short EO3 reactions to advice, to keep things clear. This small detail saves you literal hours later on when you are trying to locate one specific clip out of hundreds. Next up is organization, which is absolutely massive in maintaining a scalable content operation. If you allow these clips to pile up chaotically on your desktop, you will genuinely never find anything when you need it. Create one main shorts folder, and then within that, establish subfolders like ready to publish and needs thumbnail. The moment I download clips from the platform, I immediately drag and drop them into their correct designated folder. If possible, maintain an external tracker like a spreadsheet or a Trello board to monitor the status of every single short. Use simple emojis within that tracker for quick visual cues, a green check for posted, a clock for scheduled, or a pencil for needing edits. I promise you that implementing this tiny bit of upfront discipline will end up saving you countless hours in the long run. Now we arrive at the actual upload process for YouTube, where I often prefer using my phone for one specific reason. I choose mobile uploading if I specifically want to select a completely custom thumbnail image right then and there. However, you absolutely can manage the entire upload process from your desktop if the default thumbnail works fine for you. What I usually do is drag all the HD shorts into YouTube Studio on the desktop first to leverage existing successful data. I will reuse metadata elements from posts that have already performed very well, like the description, hashtags, tags, and playlists. Reusing this established metadata structure speeds up the entire onboarding process for new shorts dramatically. It is beneficial to maintain a default description template that contains your main introductory hooks and a couple of calls to action. Although YouTube often applies the shorts tag automatically, I still sometimes include the hashtag shorts in the description just in case. Speaking of tags, they remain a helpful signal to the algorithm, so use them thoughtfully. Your tags should accurately describe both the core topic of the clip and the specific audience you are trying to reach. For your playlists, always ensure you have one dedicated specifically for shorts content, so viewers can easily binge that bite-sized material. Before finalizing the upload, double-check a couple of subtle but crucial settings within the platform's options. Make absolutely certain the video is not incorrectly marked as made for kids unless it genuinely fits that specific demographic. Also confirm any settings related to monetization or declared paid content partnerships before you hit publish. If you repurposed any segment containing copyrighted music, be aware that the platform might flag that specific short immediately. Scheduling is where this particular platform really showcases its superior features compared to some other clip-making services. Instead of manually uploading and scheduling every single short one by one, you can just set a consistent posting frequency like 3 shorts per week. The scheduler intelligently queues up the content based on established patterns of your specific audience's activity times. If you require extremely tight control over the timing, you always have the option to manually select the exact slot in the content calendar. This calendar view is absolutely clutch because you can instantly see all planned posts and easily drag clips to different days. If you are planning content weeks in advance, that single screen view saves an immense amount of potential organizational stress. If you rely on an external tracking system like Trello, just ensure you update its status column for every clip uploaded or scheduled. Use the built-in Vizard calendar to visually confirm and match the schedule outlined in your external planner. For clips you pre-scheduled far in advance, remember that certain platform features might only be available upon manual day of editing. For those special cases requiring platform-specific linking or end screen additions, mark them clearly as manual edit required externally. Even though thumbnails might not always appear in every short feed, they become essential when someone visits your actual channel page. When I demand a custom thumbnail, I download the short to my phone, design the graphic in a simple app, and then upload from mobile. This added small step ensures your branding is perfectly aligned, which helps pull in those crucial extra clicks. When crafting titles for shorts, prioritize being punchy and direct because clarity beats complexity every time. I try to keep my titles concise, aiming for 6 to 8 words maximum, leading with the clip's primary benefit or promise. Great examples are titles like Why You Need to Quit Perfectionism or One Trick to Get Views Instantly. If you ever want to rigorously A/B test, simply change the title after 24 to 48 hours and observe the metric shift. One element I intentionally avoid using too much is the aggressive use of fancy templates and overly automated captions. While those features have their place, they can often dilute or homogenize the unique tone of your established voice. I much prefer clean, legible captions that match my personal cadence, paired with tiny edits to the on-screen copy. This ensures the snippet reads well, even for someone who has absolutely zero context from the original long-form video. Let's quickly compare this system because that's often a major question creators have when looking at solutions. Tools like Opus Clip are decent at automatically extracting clips, but creators frequently report inconsistency in the exact timing. Also, their free tiers tend to be very restrictive, and processing times for large uploads can sometimes be painfully slow. Vizard, in contrast, pulls what I find to be much better contextual highlights right out of the gate. It provides a superior built-in content calendar, and the autoscheduler is remarkably accurate at maintaining your desired posting cadence. Crucially, Vizard's entire workflow for bulk organizing and exporting feels significantly smoother to operate. This superior operational flow is precisely why I now use it as my centralized hub for all short-form content creation. Let's quickly recap the entire final workflow so you have a clear, actionable sequence to implement immediately. Step 1. Upload your master file into Vizard, select the appropriate shorts preset, and then let the autoclip function run completely. Step 2 involves reviewing the AI suggestions, aiming for those sub-30-second pieces, cropping frames if necessary, and then saving all edits. Step 3. Download the HD versions, remember to name them properly, and immediately sort them into your structured organization folders. Step 4 means reusing your best-performing metadata templates for descriptions and tags, and then crafting punchy titles for each. Step 5 is utilizing Vizard's powerful content calendar and autoscheduler to queue everything up or manually uploading from your phone for custom thumbnails. And finally, step 6 involves tracking every published piece, noting what needs a small tweak, and committing to constant iteration. If you want to see an immediate quick win, try this simple test on your next long video. Take just one episode, let Vizard generate 20 to 30 initial clips from it, and then pick your absolute top 8 suggestions. Schedule those 8 clips to post consistently twice a week and closely monitor which specific topics and opening hooks actually gain traction. After running that test for about a month, you will have concrete data on what truly resonates, allowing you to rinse and repeat the process effectively. There you have it. That is the entire comprehensive pipeline I rely on week in and week out. It is certainly not the most glamorous work. It is fundamentally about establishing repeatable systems and building small, powerful habits. But once you get this entire process rolling smoothly, you will consistently feed your channel with high-quality shorts without suffering creative burnout. If it would be helpful for you, I can easily draft a single-page checklist summarizing every single step for easy desktop access. That checklist would list each action: upload, set preset, crop, download, rename, folder, use metadata template, and finally schedule. Just let me know if you want that summary sheet and I will get it created and sent over to you right away. Thank you so much for watching, and I wish you the best of luck in mastering your own short-form content creation pipeline.